see what farming will look like. Farms will be protected by AI scarecrows. Potatoes will be genetically engineered to self-peel when cooked. And why are there greenhouses inside camouflaged shipping containers built by city rebels who do not wish to eat the food controlled and patented by mega corporations? And what kind of futuristic fish farms are being built underwater deep down in the ocean, a place less known to humans than outer space? Let's first travel to the open fields where farmers battle to protect their land. Welcome to the last harvest. Naturalist farmers continue to defend their natural ways of farming. They are fighting against government regulations, trying to shut them down to protect the environment. And they are also fighting the corporations that are patenting all things farming and are using genetically engineered crops. Most naturalist farmers have adapted to the changing times. They now employ robots. These are the robot harvesters. The robots work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and in all types of weather. Drones fly overhead, monitoring crops, inspecting robots, and counting livestock. Harvesting robots use cameras and color recognition technology to see when a strawberry is ready to be picked. There are automated cow milking machines. There are even AI scarecrows, equipped with ultrasonic emitters and lasers to repel insect pests. They use infrared cameras to work through the night. They also use sound and light to deter larger pests, such as birds and rodents. These AI scarecrows update their tactics based on the observed behavior of the pests. When it comes to planting the crops, bioinjection drones are equipped with mechanisms to inject seeds directly into the ground from the air, minimizing soil disruption and eliminating the need for walking and driving paths between the crops. Even the solar panels on the farms are robotic, tracking and following the sun's movements during the day and year. But even with all the high-tech robots, the independent farmers can't compete with the big corporate harvesters. These corporations buy up all the land and use even more advanced technology, such as next-gen artificial intelligence that feeds on a farm's data through sensors and cameras, learning to predict crop yields and disease outbreaks. These corporations launch their own satellites to monitor their farms and even monitor the land of the independent farmers. Nanotechnology is used in the soil to monitor conditions, while nanoparticles deliver fertilizers and pesticides. Even out on these open farms, people question, where is the line between natural food and artificial? There is one line that natural farmers do not cross over into, and that is the line of using genetically altered food, such as hypoallergenic nuts that have been genetically modified to eliminate allergenic proteins, or self-peeling potatoes, engineered with a skin that falls off naturally when cooked. Then there is color-guided harvesting. Vegetables or fruits are genetically altered to change the color of the leaf or even the skin just before ripening. Or crops can be genetically programmed to ripen at the same time. Strains of tomatoes are altered to switch off a protein that controls the ripening process. A second gene is modified to react to a non-toxic compound that is sprayed or added to the water, which switches on the ripening protein, starting the ripening process at the same time in every tomato. And then there is a new field of study with growing investments in the creation of hybrid plant-animal organisms. Plant and animal traits are genetically combined to create a tree that produces milk or a vine that grows meat. Corporations patent their genetic engineering and farming techniques, and some countries even allow them to patent natural seeds, making nature the intellectual property of corporations. Farmers are forced to buy the corporation's engineered seeds, seeds that have been modified to only use the company's own nutrients, fertilizers, and even water. The crops these seeds produce have also been engineered to not be able to produce more seeds that can be replanted. The corporations also work on reviving and patenting extinct species of food, such as ancient grape varieties, rice, and Roman wheat, and even extinct species of seafood grown in underwater farms. Looking down into the water, it's not just fish swimming around. There are also robot drones. Aquatic drones work on planting crops, placing larvae, cleaning shellfish, and harvesting the ocean crops. There are underwater, caged fish farms, and seaweed forests harvested for food and biofuel. while the floating algae farms produce the superfood spirulina. Clams, scallops, and mussels are grown over floating ropes. When it comes to growing marine food, there is no need for precious freshwater, and underwater farms are protected from the changing weather on the surface. Maintenance robots inspect underwater structures, nets, and equipment, while microplastic collection robots filter out plastic particles from the water. These underwater robots are built to be resistant to high pressure, low temperatures, and saltwater corrosion. The ocean is a challenging place to farm. Humans have had more success in sending machines such as rovers and satellites into space than they have in sending them to the deepest parts of the ocean. Some fishermen use fish drones to autonomously steer and herd their own school of fish, allowing the fish to be free-ranging but kept under control. These robotic fish shepherds also work as security escorts, using sound, light, and even holographic projections to protect the fish from predators and human poacher pirates. When it comes to powering large ocean farms, corporations are investing in harvesting geothermal energy from underwater volcanic vents, while smaller ocean farms are powered by floating solar fields and wind and wave energy generators, and algae is used to create biofuels. Deep in the Atlantic Ocean, corporate engineers are building an experimental underwater vertical farm. It is a multi-story underwater structure that harnesses energy from temperature gradients, producing electricity by using the temperature difference between deep and shallow waters in the ocean. The different levels of the underwater vertical farm provide different living conditions for a variety of edible marine species of plants and animals to grow. The underwater structure is given the name Neptune's Garden. Ocean engineers work on terraforming parts of the ocean near cities. They experiment with water conditioning, altering the water chemistry by introducing and removing specific chemicals, nutrients, and gases to create optimal conditions for growing certain marine organisms. Robots drill into the seabed and inject necessary nutrients and minerals, creating fertile zones. Seascaping becomes a branch of architecture and engineering, focusing on the design and construction of engineered underwater areas. Bio-3D printers are used to construct artificial reef structures, promoting the growth of algae, shellfish, and other marine life. Seabed sculpting robots reshape the ocean floor to create depressions, raised areas, and carve out seabed tunnels and channels to form new currents and waterways. Strong swimmers, such as tuna, prefer areas with consistent currents. And shellfish, such as oysters, mussels, and clams that are filter feeders, also benefit from the terraformed water currents. The value of the ocean is rising. Corporations begin to claim ownership as governments sell it to them. To maintain control, these corporations close down beaches and deny traditional fishing communities access to the waters. And then there's the controversial world of genetic engineering, where corporations modify the genetic code of marine life, making them grow faster and able to resist disease, the rising sea temperatures,